I am so excited to turn 26. Convince yourself that you're gonna die. I had a huge panic attack on the highway. I started Joya Media. I got promoted to a marketing campaign supervisor at my company. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is my birthday. I turned 26 today. Last year on my 25th birthday, I did a get ready with me, just kind of talking about my thoughts on turning 25. And here I am a year later doing the same thing of my thoughts turning 26. And I have a lot of thoughts, so let's get started. I know I have a lot of new subscribers since that video, so if you want to go check it out, I'll put it right here. But I'm in a different location than I was last year because we moved a few months ago. My dream was to always live in a city. So my boyfriend and I moved to Jersey City in 2024, and we were there for a year. And let's just say a lot happened while we lived there. I spent most of my 25th year in Jersey City. I don't regret living there, but I definitely have some traumas from living there. Zach also, who is my boyfriend, also has some traumas from living there, which we will get to. But we moved to like central Jersey area, so it's like completely different than Jersey City, but like not that different, because I feel like I'm more in a city here than I was when I lived in Jersey City, because we lived in the Heights. I guess I can talk about that now. We lived in the Heights area. A lot of people who can't afford downtown usually move to the Heights or Journal Square. But even Journal Square is pretty expensive. So the Heights is like very reasonable. It's like the next up and coming. Most of my family actually grew up in the Heights, so I had like connections from that. But it was more family oriented than it was people in their 20s. I don't know, I wanted that city feel, and I wasn't getting that in Jersey City where we were living. I wanted to be in a walkable area, and that wasn't really that walkable. Obviously the city is walkable, but you had to walk far to get anywhere. So here I'm like closer to everything. I can walk to everything. I barely have to touch my car, which comes to something else that I have to talk about that happened in my 25th year of living, or 26, I guess. I don't know how that works, that math. Once I turned 25, a month after, I had a huge panic attack on the highway while driving by myself, and ever since then, that was in October, I have not driven on the highway, which I am beating myself up about because I should have just tackled it head on. But I was just so anxious after that, because I never had a panic attack before, that I was just so anxious all the time after that. Like even just sitting in my apartment, I've always had the fear of getting a panic attack. Luckily, knock on wood, I don't feel like that anymore. I can kind of like handle it and like breathe deep and be fine, but I haven't gotten on the highway yet. So that is one of my goals for this year, is to get back on the highway, because I do feel very stuck. Luckily, since we moved, I've been able to just like walk everywhere, and there's less highways around here, so I don't have to like get on a highway to go places. Where in Jersey City, I couldn't even go to my parents' house, who lived like 25-30 minutes away, because I had to get on a highway. So they would have to come and pick me up every single time, or I would have to Uber because I couldn't even get there. I still can't drive to them, but I can take a train, so that's nice. But I've just been relying on my boyfriend to drive or public transportation, which isn't the worst, but it is expensive, and like I just feel like I'm wasting money because I do have a car. So that's like a whole nother thing. If anyone is experiencing that, like I can literally drive fine like on the roads. I've never been scared of the highway. I always was the driver in my friend group, and I always just preferred to drive. Even with my boyfriend, like I always just preferred to just drive the long trip and just like have him sit in the passenger, because I just like to be in control. Last year in 2024, I drove to Boston twice. I drove to Hershey, Pennsylvania. Like I drove all of these far places, and then all of a sudden like I can't even drive on the highway for like a minute. So if anyone's experiencing that, let me know if you have any tips. I do want to get to therapy to talk about it. I did have a therapist right after it happened, but she was like my age, and I just don't think it was the right therapist for me, and then I kind of gave up, which is stupid. You shouldn't do that. So I need to get back to that. So that's my goal for at least, honestly, September. I want to get back to it. Like next week I want to start looking into it. I might try EMDR, I think what it's called, because a lot of people online have said that that helps. But again, if anyone's watching that has experienced this, let me know how you overcame it. That's pretty much what I've been dealing with all year. It's just this constant anxious feeling, and I've never been an anxious person. I've had like normal anxieties like that everyone experiences, and then I also have always been like an overthinker, and I just can't just like do something. I have to like overthink it before I do it. So I guess it was bound to happen at some point, but I'm not really anxious about anything else other than driving. Like obviously I have like health anxiety, I think many people do, but I just got my blood work done and knock on wood, everything's been good. So that I really haven't had a lot of anxiety with, because I finally got confirmation like I'm all good. Another thing to do with anxiety, this is like this whole beginning of this video, I used to vape all the time. I started vaping right after I graduated high school, which I don't think a lot of people really start vaping anymore. I feel like it's just more the zins, but it was the stupidest decision I ever made, and I could not quit. I quit like 2 to 3 times, but then I would just get back onto it. But what I figured out was when I started getting health anxiety and just like anxiety in general, everyone online was saying how nicotine like really affects your anxiety, and every day I thought that I was gonna die. I thought that I was gonna have a heart attack and my heart was gonna stop, because I just heard so many stories about that. So I was like, why am I doing this to myself? So I quit vaping. It was the easiest decision and like easiest thing I've ever done, just because I told myself I'm going to die if I don't quit this. So if you're trying to quit vaping, convince yourself that you're gonna die. Like I know that sounds like crazy and brutal, but it's so worth it to stop vaping, because first off, it's a waste of money and you're literally killing yourself by vaping. No one knows what vaping is, and obviously it's easier said than done. I tried 3 times and I failed every single time except the last time, but I've been completely off of it for I think 8 months. I haven't even been keeping track because I don't even crave it. It's like I've never vaped before. It's so nice, and I feel like I have so much more energy. So that's a 1+ of things that happened since I turned 25. The biggest con of my 25th year was the anxiety portion of it. So I do feel like I wasted a lot of time with it, but it's like it was out of my control, so I'm not trying to harp on it as much. And I still did a lot of stuff, so it's not like I missed out on like a bunch of life. I just definitely could have tackled it earlier and then had the freedom of driving myself wherever I want to go, because I've definitely missed out on plans because of it, because I just can't drive to the plan and there's no like train, or the Uber's too expensive. So that's kind of a bummer, but I'm not trying to harp on it, because this year we're gonna fix it and I'm just gonna get back on the road and everything's gonna go back to normal. Those are some of the biggest things that happened to me this year. Also, another big thing that happened to me was right after I turned 25, like a month or so later, I got promoted to a marketing campaign supervisor at my company. So I've been with my company for over 3 years. And 2 years ago on my 24th birthday, I got promoted to campaign associate tier 2. So I started off with a marketing campaign associate I think I got my job in 2022. And then in 2023, I got promoted to tier 2. And then in 2024, I got promoted to supervisor. So what is gonna happen this year? Because every year I've gotten promoted and made more money, literally right around my birthday. So I'm hoping a lot of wealth comes my way this year, as it's done the past 3 years. Now let's get to just my thoughts of turning 26, because I am like that person that's like, I don't want to get old. Because I don't. Like, who wants to get old? But only because I'm not afraid of getting old. I'm just like, the years are just going by so fast. I just like feel like I'm not caught up. You know, like I feel like the years are going faster than me growing up. But this year I have such a different outlook on my birthday and turning 26. Like, I was so scared of turning 25 just because of the whole frontal lobe and stuff. And obviously I had a reason to be scared, because look what happened. I developed such bad anxiety with driving that it literally took up so much of my day and my time. It was so exhausting for like from October to maybe January. It was just constant fear of having a panic attack, and that's just not a good way to live, and it's not fun. So this year though, I've definitely feel like first off, I love my space. I didn't love our space in Jersey City. I liked how we decorated, but there was just so much that came with that, like pests and gas leaks. Like, it was a shit show living there. We had something new every month to like worry about or stress over. And I'm just glad to be out of that place. But this place, like, I love this new apartment. It's such a community. There's so many young people around us. We have like a gym, which I've only went to like 3 times, but I just love our space. I love our couch. I just love everything about it. I love the area. I'm close to everyone we know. We're like directly in the middle of everyone we know, so we can just, they can come to us. We can host people because our place is bigger. Like, everything is just going great. Knock on wood. So I am just very excited to see how this year goes, because I do feel like I'm finally settled and I'm ready for like the next big thing. But like, I'm still sad. Like, I don't want to leave this place. I don't want to move out of this place next year. Like, we've been moving for the past 2 years, that I just want to be settled and good here. But then I'm also ready for the next thing too. Like, just in my career, or like, what's our next plan? Like, what are we doing? Are we going on vacation? Like, I'm just ready for that. Where in Jersey City, I literally just stayed in my apartment and didn't do anything because I was just, again, so afraid of having an attack that I just didn't want to be away from my home, even though I hated the house. So it was just a crazy whirlwind of emotions. But I am so excited to turn 26. And the reason I am, and this is gonna sound so cringy to some people maybe, but turning 26 is the first season of Friends. And something about me, I love Friends. It's one of my favorite shows. I can rewatch it every month and never get tired of it. And the fact that in the first season they were only 26. Like, I remember looking at them and thinking they were so... Actually, I never thought of their age until like that one episode where Rachel was turning 30 and she was freaking out, which is probably gonna be me. But they did so much, and they were like, I've been younger than them this entire time. So like, I am not behind at all. Like, they were still living with roommates, and they weren't married, they weren't dating. They had so much life left. They were only starting the show at 26 years old. I know they're fictional characters, but you understand what I'm saying. And that just makes me feel so good. So I don't think I'm behind. I never really thought I was behind per se. I just think obviously I could be making more money than I am right now, but just with the state of our economy and stuff, it's like everyone's in that boat, so I don't feel so down on myself for that. I actually don't feel down on myself at all when it comes to like my job or my money situation or just anything like that, because I feel like I'm doing such a great job at saving money and just also enjoying my life, which is another thing that I've been battling with, is like, do I want to save money or do I want to live my life? And how can I balance that? It's just like, I don't want regret when I buy stuff, but obviously like I don't make enough money not to regret when I buy things, so I don't know, but that's a whole other thing. I'm just really excited to turn 26. I'm really excited to see what this year holds for me. I have a good feeling about it, where like my 25th birthday, I just didn't have a good feeling about the next year. But this, like, I am so excited to see what's to come. Like, I really don't have any expectations, which is a good thing, because usually I have like high expectations and then I make myself sad because they're so out of this world that I'm never gonna get it. So here are my goals for this year. They are very achievable. So first, we're getting a cat. That's not a goal, but I guess it's something to look forward to. We wanted to get a dog, but we just like cannot commit to that right now because we have like trips that we want to go on, and it's just like a lot of extra money that we're gonna have to be spending that we just don't really have. So we settled on a cat. I want to post more on YouTube, which I feel like I did a good job of last year. I definitely had to take a break for a while because of everything that was going on. I've been really tapping into my creative side ever since I moved. Like, I've just been constantly creating or just doing things. So that's really gonna reflect onto my YouTube videos soon. I'm very excited. I have so many that I need to edit, but I know how I'm gonna edit them, and I know how I'm gonna film them. Like, I have a plan where I'm not just gonna do vlogs where it's like boring, like this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. It's gonna be like created. It's like something that you can put on in the background and just like while you're cleaning, and then like look up because you're kind of intrigued. You know, those kind of videos? I don't know why I didn't start with this, because that's really bad marketing on my part for myself. I always wanted to be a social media manager, and getting that job in the corporate world is kind of hard because you either have to know someone or have experience doing it, and my only experience of social media is like my personal experience. So I decided I'm not waiting for someone to hire me, I'm just gonna do it myself. So I started Joya Media, and it's basically gonna start off as me being a social media manager solo. I'm just doing it by myself, and then I'm hoping at some point to bring Joya Media to like a whole nother level. And I picked Joya Media because obviously my last name is Joya, and I have a lot of siblings and we have a lot of family, so I figured someone needs to start something. how do we have a big family and no one has started something? You know how you like look back, you're like, why don't I have any generational wealth? Well, I'm gonna be the person that starts a generational wealth. So that's where Joya Media comes in. I'm just gonna use it by myself at first and then expand it to whatever it's gonna be and try to keep it in the family, but we can add extra people if like we need it. But that's the plan. So this year I'm just gonna work on my social media management and get a few clients in the beginning and then hopefully work its way to becoming bigger. And then who doesn't want to be their own boss? I'm not gonna have too many goals because having too many goals I get a little crazy. But the one other thing that I really want to do is journal. I just read this book called How to Solve Your Own Murder. And she was like reading the diary of her great aunt who got murdered, and basically she was like solving her own murder. It's like this whole thing. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I realized like I would want my great grandchildren or whatever to like read my journals. Or even not that, just that I feel like the next, no, I don't feel, I know the next like the rest of my life is going to be full of so many big moments, especially in my life, and then everyone around me, like weddings, babies, graduations, moving out, moving in. I feel like there's gonna be so much happening that I want to document everything in a way where I can just go look back and be like, oh my god, I forgot about that one moment that happened because like I forgot to take a picture. So I want to write down all of these big moments and just my thoughts and like what happened, because I can look at pictures and remember that day, but I don't really remember it. Like I don't remember specifically like what this person said or what this person did. I just remember the day. So that's something that I really want to start doing, is journaling. And I don't even need to do it every day. It's literally only when I have a thought or when something big happens. So I'm gonna start that today on my birthday. I'm filming this the day before, but I'm gonna start on my 26th birthday, and I think that should be really fun. Our generation, I wouldn't say like our whole generation, because technically I'm a Gen Z, and like I don't believe that like we're all the same because we all grew up in such different times. But anyone born from like 2003, from like, okay, I'll say like 1995 to 2003, we've had the shit end of the stick for like most things. So we just have to find the good in everything. Especially we always have to fight for something. I feel like I'm just always angry now and like fighting for things that should not have to be fought for. Like they should just be accessible for everyone. So I think that as a community we need to just speak on things about, I don't know, I think we need to share more about our lives as just a normal person, being 26, 21, 25, like however old you are. Let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about where we are in life and what our thoughts are and like how we ended up here, what was our timeline to getting our first job or like working or buying our first house or renting our first apartment. I don't think many people are buying houses at our age, but I want to be transparent on my YouTube where I'm just showing you like real things that are happening, because I can just show you the good things, but a lot of times it's not good. It's just normal or bad. So I don't really know where I'm going with this, but if you're whatever age you are, but especially if you're in your 20s right now, let's just have a conversation maybe in the comments, or just subscribe and we can talk, and we can just like talk about how we're feeling living in 2025 as a however old you are, because it's fucking hard out here. I'm not gonna be sitting here like, oh, I can't wait because my life is perfect and everything's going great. My life is great, everything is going pretty great, but it's not everything is going great. Maybe personally everything's going great, but it's not as a whole. So I think I'm just rambling, but let's just talk in the comments. I don't know, comment whatever you want and we could just have conversations, and I can do more of these videos where I'm just like talking about things. If you have any questions or you just want to know like how I got here or how I want to get somewhere, I don't know. I'm excited for this year though, so follow along with me. Also, another goal that I have is I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers. I gained like 200 subscribers this year, which is amazing. So I think I can gain, what, 250? I think I need more to get to 1,000. So let's do it together. So if you want to support a small creator, here I am. And let's get through our 20s together. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. So I need to go back to my job. But I hope you enjoyed and follow along with me on my 26th year of living. And follow me on Joya Media, which is tagged below on my Instagram and TikTok. So I will see you guys next video, which is my birthday special that I do every year. So stay tuned.